Okay, so tonight we're going to start out with a silent moment uh, to go in. There's been a lot of loss this week. Um, the world is a very unsettled place. The veil is very close to opening, and we have a lot of unsettled dead right now. So I'm going to give you a little way that you can cross silently at your homes and safely. Um, I don't advise doing this if you have never done liminal cross work, which means if you've never sat into the veil and worked in this kind of magic, ease into this. Don't just jump into it with 2 feet. Okay. It tends to be a little more intense of a process, but you're going to want to get a white candle, a bowl of water for protection, and a herb to burn to be a smoke. It needs to be a protection cleanse. We're going to cover fennel tonight. Fennel's a great herb to use for this, as well as oregano and rosemary. It's going to require you to get into a state of peace. So you're going to sit into prayer, have some silent prayer time, really intercessory. This is a very Christian, religious turn on witchcraft. So I want you to bear with me, okay? We're crossing people that are not necessarily our belief system. Nevertheless, they are lost. And we have a responsibility as plane holders to step into that space and be a bridge. If you are not comfortable being a bridge, please don't be a bridge. This is going to be a little easier for us mountain girls because we got a backbone running through us that's a little more religiously oriented than the rest of you guys. I mean, and a lot of you have come from religious backgrounds, but our craft spins within that. So for us, this is our roots. Um, like I say, you can't be afraid of nothing if you don't believe in nothing. Okay. So when you're doing this, you're going to have that bowl of water. You're going to have that candle. Bowl of water is for scrying and balance. The veil works best with a water fluidity. The smoke will give you the balance. The fire of the candle, your spirit will be that element. Earth is a great thing to have. If you can get those feet flat on the ground before you do this ritual and after you do this ritual, you're going to be a lot better earth. I start with bay leaves and I burn those to start. I open the gates. I ask in the goddess to hold the space and the place. I always ask Hecate to come in. And then I ask my female ancestors to also hold that liminal space. You're going to see ancestors that don't necessarily agree with you. I'm getting a lot of you got to get your ass right and get back to church in the last couple days when I'm crossing people and I'm coming across people. These people do not understand what happened to them. They are lost. They are scared. They need guidance. And you're going to get people from all over right now because the veil is wide. I know everybody's like, "Oh, the veil is open." There is not this much death, and the veil is not open. The veil is open. So as you cross these, just provide yourself a place of peace. I am a neutral situation. I'm a place to bring you into the liminal. Please cross with us. You are going to feel their pain. You are going to cry. You are going to feel lost. Some of you may feel it in your chest. You may feel the water. You may feel the heat. You may feel the fear. Only do this as long as you feel comfortable. When your body hits that level, you've got to stop. This process is called keening. Keening is not for everyone. If you intend to keen for longer periods of time, you need to get yourself very comfortable in experiencing the crossing feeling. And as a witch, it's a big high to cross someone. You will feel it. You will feel it move through you. What you need to remember is to break in between these things, center yourself, wash your hands, cleanse your energy, rub your feet on the ground, get yourself grounded in between these processes. This keening crossing is an elevated witch skill. This is not a normal witch skill, but I don't think you're normal witches. And I think you've been doing this for a while, and I think you're ready. If you are a Reiki healer, you need to have yourself perfectly aligned before you do this because them going through you is going to pull everything you got. Especially some of these spirits are very angry. They are lost, they are angry, and they don't understand. Okay. So I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I feel this energy's off, this energy's off. The only way to balance this energy is for us to pass them. And you don't necessarily have to be this high equivalated worker, but you do necessarily have to be a grounded, aligned worker. Oh, wait. I think somebody wrote something about this called source. We're sending them back to source. What feeds you is where they need to go. This is a conduit crossing. You are simply a bridge. You're a big electrical cord from your feet to your head. You are allowing them to use you to pass. Do you understand? You need to be very clear when you're doing this that you are only a bridge. They may not dwell, they may not stay, and you are not taking messages. This isn't your chance to shine free and be a spirit medium. This is your chance to just provide what you're providing. Because a lot of these people are going to have a lot to say, and you have to put the boundary clear. I am crossing, I am not interceding. Okay? So before we started tonight, I wanted to cover that. I want to invite the goddess in tonight to sit with us, be guidance, be wisdom, connect to source tonight, because this is very important source magic. Okay? So the ritual is keening and crossing, is what we just discussed. If you came in late, you'll have to replay the replay and hear exactly what I said from the beginning. Tonight, we're doing harvesting the moon, the plant spirits crosswise, and we're going to close into this Libra moon. This Libra moon greets us with a tremendous amount of change. There is so much change around us right now. Everything is swirling. There is this attitude, atmosphere, and preconceived notion of animosity and anger. People are very angry and people have a lot of animosity. This is not the way to meet the ancestors. I'm going to be real honest with you. If you go in there, as my grandma used to say, 10 toes on business and your head in the air, this isn't going to go well for you. Ancestor work is humble, it is centered, and of most things, it is sacred. You are getting a look behind the curtain. The great and wonderful Oz is behind there, and that's who you're looking for. You're looking for source. Tonight, we're going to cover this aspect of pushing through pain. Going to full moon, I really want you to focus on releasing painful things that have hindered you from your ancestors. So the timeout moments. That is generational curses, generational misconceptions, religious trauma. These things need to be moved out of the way for you to go to ancestry work. Clear? As we like to stay here where I live for stay. That means, do you understand? So you need to understand, number one, in this whole situation, what are the messages I'm seeking? What do I want to learn from source and my ancestors at this time? What do you really want to call in? Okay. What are we looking for? What are the answers? Deeper inquisition of that fact. Okay. How can I honor my ancestors in my present day workings? What are you doing that brings forth that? I've enveloped foot washing as a part of my practice. So not only do I wash my feet daily, I wash my daughter's feet daily, and I wash my husband's feet daily. Not as servitude, not as submission, but as a loving, open action. That is my protection work for my family. Those protection workings are important. That's part of my ancestry. It's a form of respect in how I was raised. You went somewhere and someone offered you to wash your feet, or that notion, it was a big thing they were offering you. It's a huge respect and a huge humbling. So that's something I've added to my practice. I've also added a whole bunch of family, as my mother calls them, tchotchkes or junk, to my working areas. So bowls, cups, Tupperware containers that are holding my stuff now that I never had before. I got out all that junk that was sitting in the junk bin that I don't use anymore, and I put it to work. Beads from past projects, Christmas ornaments have come back out. I have brought back out that part and I've added it to my practice. Not because I need it, because it supports where I'm working to. You have to separate the emotion from the urgency of the magical connection. Now, some people are going to say, I don't know my ancestors. Cool. What calls to you? What is bringing you forth closer to your magic? When you hold something, what is pulling you? You need to look into those things, okay? What legacy do I wish to leave for my future generations? What are you doing to make a legacy book? What are you doing to write down your spell work? What are you doing to teach others your magic? Legacies do not have to be blood relatives. You guys are my legacy. This is my legacy. When I'm burned up in that coffee can and Eric's handing you all pendulum boards and they say, keep in touch at the funeral, this is my legacy. My can, my chip, that Charlie chip can with my ashes in, that's my legacy. What have I left behind? If I have connected more than one person to source, I've done my fucking job. That's my legacy. I have daughters that are legacies. There are family cookbooks. There are things where my daughter is learning and growing in her magic. That is legacy. What you leave behind, how did you love? That is your legacy. And your ancestors can show you how to love with the fortitude and magnitude of purpose. Which aspects of my life require rebalancing as I transfer into the darker half of the year? I know all of you are going to every craft fair, every pagan festival, every online meet you can do, everything out there getting involved politically, spiritually. You're supposed to be getting ready to go to the cave. You're supposed to be ready to hibernate. Samhain is the big show. We just had Thanksgiving at Maybon. This is the big show. This is when we go out and do all our fun shit. It's the season of the witch, right? Next comes celebration in your private haven. I notice I see a lot of you more in the winter than I see you in the summer. Why? Because I want to meet you in your cave. Because I'm there to meet you while you're hibernating and you're feeding and you're growing. Winter is for feeding our souls. I mean, you're all reading that seasonal soul, right? Yeah. So we feed this. So if some of you are like, I am not reading it, don't look at me, bitch. Don't look at me. So when you're looking at this, this is what you're preparing for. How are we going to prepare for this veil? Yes, you need to start preparing now. Thaw your turkeys. It's time. Okay. You know, I will call you all out before big holiday dinners. I'm like, your turkey should be out by now. Your groceries should be bought by now. Your pie should be baked by now. Okay. If you're going to get ready, there's this concept of an ancestor stone, of getting a stone on your altar, spending time with this stone, using it to hone in. It should be powering magic right now. You should be feeling it spreading. What are you putting on your altar as a focal working point? We all made effigies, right? Get a crystal in that bitch, shove it up her cooch. It's time to shove a crystal in her cooch and get her charged. Okay? I know some of you carry them in your bras. Some people need them stuffed up their cooch. Their energy's so off. I say that with all love and peace and kindness. I could probably use a piece of citrine up mine. So listen, maybe some clear quartz after the last couple of weeks. When you're doing these things, we really need to charge our items. That means if you got storm water, you need to make use of it. Start washing down those tools. Start washing down the things you want to do. Some of you have burning vessels and your property, and they are probably full of mud right now. I suggest you carve a candle and roll it in that mud. This was a very volatile week, in case y'all haven't met. Oh, nobody mentioned it, but eclipse season closed. Nobody was even fucking talking about it. The sun's like, hey, yo, I'm having an eclipse. Anybody fucking notice? Everybody's like, no, we're too busy. Totally missed the sun eclipse, right? Hardly anybody observed this solar eclipse. But it finally closed that fucking window. Thank the fucking goddess. I've had enough of eclipse energy. I don't know about you guys, but I like chaos. But this has been like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog level of chaos this year. So get those candles out. I don't care how big your candle is. I don't care where it's from. If you don't have a candle to roll it in right now, go get your Tupperware container. Go get your country crock container. Pull out your mud and put it in there. Hold on till you're ready to anoint that candle. Okay? If you don't have that mud, find a friend that has some black mud and get it from them. Find a sister here. Find someone in your everyday life that practices and get yourself some mud. You need some mud. There's this song out by Dorothy now. If you follow me on my personal page, you'll know it. It ain't digging if you don't got a little blood and mud on you. Your magic is going to be blood and mud this time of year. I know Lynn was less than 30 miles from me when that thunderstorm hit that day, and you knew something was fucking coming in. You could feel it. My entire body shook for hours. It sounded as if everything broke loose. It sounded as if the world was cracking. Like we were in like this tumbler and being shaken. Something has changed. Something has massively shifted. I'm not talking about a little shift. This is a huge shift. The things you're seeing in the world are nothing compared to what's happening in the spiritual world right now. I've never seen shifts like this. I've never seen people's trajectories of importance change so quick. The things that the people I know that have valued huge things are like, no, this doesn't matter anymore. This doesn't matter. I don't need this. My perceptive is not here anymore. This is not important. We lost a lot of women in the last 2 weeks. Those circles are empty in the liminal. I know you sit by them. The fires are empty. They're gone. We have lost legacies. So what do you do when you lose legacies? Well, you little ladies that aren't quite ready, women like me go, time to pull your big girl fucking pants on and step up. We have a job to do. It's all fun playing witch till you really got to be one. And being a witch is not easy. A hardworking witch is hard. It's a lot of lost hours in your sleep, a lot of contemplation of who you are and what's important. It's sickness. Some of you are going to get real sick in the next 2 weeks. Real sick. You're not going to know what hit you. You're going to feel run down. You're going to feel over exasperated. Your bodies are going to feel under stress. You're going to be, it's the moon. It's not the moon. You're changing, butterfly. And that cocoon is awfully fucking thick because you haven't been eating your way out every moon. Release is chewing your way out through the blood and the muck. It's painful and it hurts. And you got to get rid of things and they got to shed away. I promise you're going to be a beautiful deadhead moth at the other side, but you got to chew out. Your magic will never look exactly like you think it's going to. It will always be different because it's what source wants for you, not what you want for you. Manifestations are suggestions to the universe unless they are put to the task. Some of you probably feel like you're being fucking tried and trialed at every corner of your life right now. It's been a rough month, hasn't it? And every time you go to that lunar hearth cauldron to get your dose, that bitch ain't there because she's fucking sick. I was silent for a reason this week. And it didn't just have to do with being deathly ill. I had nothing nice to say. I'm scared. I'm very scared. I've never seen the fire so dark in the liminal. I've never seen so many women missing. I've never turned to other witches that I know do what I do and say, what the fuck are we going to do? There's not enough of us to cross. There is not enough of us to do this work anymore because we don't have time for witch curious witches anymore, ladies. You can't be bi curious. You can't want to do a little magic and jump back out. This is commitment time. Why do you think I have that boot camp on November 1st? Because if you go through this, you're going to do this. You're going to learn intense things like this keening circle and blood magic stuff. You guys need these things in your belt. We're not playing beginner classes anymore. I haven't taught beginner classes in almost 7 months. Someone wrote me the other day and she goes, "You're just too dark. I can't do this anymore." Sorry about that. It's serious. I take my craft very seriously because it's not only my craft, it's my path. It's what I walk. I want you guys to understand that what you're doing is important. So the next part of this is preparing for the Samhain veil. Create a sacred space, ancestor offerings, divination practices, writing and releases, rituals of letting go. You are going to start letting go from now till the fucking veil. Find something every 3 days and get it out. I want you to have spiritual diarrhea for the next 3 weeks. Get rid of all the shit that no longer serves you. You need to feed your bodies well. Feed your temples. Water, food, sleep, space. I can't promise sleep. I cannot promise you sleep. But what I can tell you is feeding your temple is of the utmost importance right now. You cannot make magic on a depleted temple. If you think about an ancient temple and you close your eyes and you look in there, what do you see? You see a goddess statue, obviously. A god or goddess statue, correct? You see rows and rows of candles. So we see spirit, fire. There's always water somewhere in a temple. If it's not for cleansing your hands when you walk in, it's in front of the deity themselves. And there's always some kind of smoke in the room and a firm place to put your feet. You are a temple, little goddess. Take care of your temple. Some of you have beautifully adorned temples. I've seen your tattoos. I've seen your hair. I've seen your nails. I've seen everything. Okay, so you decorate nice, Martha. You're so pretty. That's not what it's about. You got to have good guts in your temple. You got to have good bones. Bones are important. Your bones belong to your ancestors. You bring them in, you got bones. You got bones for the rest of your journey. Because when you are tired, they all stand behind you and push you back up. Come on, little one. You got this. You have this. I need you to walk a little stronger, but you got this. When you are weak, they will be your strength. And they will wake you in the middle of the night and go, "Are we lazy? Are we doing this?" They're going to remind you. If anything, I'm going to ask you to dedicate yourself to writing solid till Samhain now. I don't care what you write about. Write about something fucking magical because you're all fucking magical because you say you are, right? I think I wrote that book and there's plenty of prompts in there. I think I've wrote 100 fucking workshops, easy, and there's prompts in there. That parchment, which is sitting over there dormant on Facebook, there's plenty of prompts in there. Find something to fucking write about. If you do not engage your magic, your cauldron will go out. This is no time to be lazy. They call it the season of the witch for a reason. It's not because you get to watch all those shows on Disney. Bonus, but it's not because you get to watch all those shows on Disney. Okay. So, what is the spell work of this one? Well, we have a spell work, ritual, and contemplative exercise all in one this time. I want you to make a wreath. I want you to make a wreath with thorns. And I want you to cut your fingers with the thorns. I want to hear fuck, shit, God, son of a bitch, and fucking sissy. I want to hear it the whole time you're making the wreath, okay? And I want you every time you're working with that thorns, I want you to have a ribbon there to pull through your fingers and pull off that blood, which is what you're going to weave around your wreath, wrapping roses or asters on your wreath. Why roses or asters? Well, asters are for mom, because Hecate loves her asters. And roses are for your ancestors, because roses are a form of unconditional love. And if you are a grounded Keening woman, a rose bush is an important part of your practice. And you should be giving blood to that rose bush every time you touch it in your yard, whether you'll want to or not. Every time I take a few rose petals off that bush, I give it a little bit of blood. And the bitch always has the most beautiful blooms right down in the middle where I can't fucking reach them. It doesn't stop me from getting them, but I have plenty of cuts to go with them. But the ribbon, the wreath, I don't care if you have a small grapevine wreath. If you go out in your yard and get some branches and just whip a wreath up, you go to your Joann Fabrics and get a wreath, get a small wreath. Doesn't have to be huge. This wreath is going to go with your effigy. Are you following what we're doing here? Your effigy is going to make your wheel of the year to turn in as a sacrifice. So I'm expecting to see your wreaths in a couple days. And I'm expecting to hear all about your bloody fingers and how much you hate me from your bloody fingers. I don't have any way to get thorns, Sissy. Yes, you do. Go to your grocery store and buy some roses with the thorns on. That's all you need. You need a couple thorns in there. Some of us have briar bushes where we're at, thorny bushes around here. You will find the thorns where you need them. They will show up. I promise you. Life is full of thorns. But you have to go through the hard, prickly parts to get to the sweet magic that you desire. So when you're working with this, we're really going to sit in and I want you to write gratitudes to wrap around the wreath. So I don't care if you use little packages, little spell jars, however you want to do this. I'm going to make curled ribbons, you know, that ribbon that you just take and it comes down like this. And I'm going to write my gratitudes to hang off of my wreath. You can do it any way you want. You can put paper scrolls in your wreath that are your gratitudes. But your gratitudes are going to be what is coming in for my health, what is coming in for my spirit, what is blessing my home, and what did I what did I what do I do with the gift I got now from my ancestors? What are you going to do with those gifts? Those gifts you already know you have. Why are you thankful for those? Do you understand? You're all looking at me going, I did not expect her to move this fast tonight. I thought she would be slower because she's sick. And finally, we're going to go into questions to ponder. What is sparking harmony in your life and relationships right now? What about you is creating harmony in your life? What has changed in you? What has shifted in you that's bringing harmony? Okay. If you're not bringing harmony, why? Examine that. What checkpoint am I searching for on my path? When are you going to know you hit the point? When are you going to know you're at that point in your path you want to be on? What's going to be your indicator? Because you need to have that idea in your head. So when you get into this space, you go, okay, this is what I was looking for. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. Am I facilitating for my highest good intended by source? So, in short, are you fucking sabotaging yourself? Are you making every excuse to not to get to the finish line? Sorry about that. That was a little nasty, wasn't it? Came in the back door, kicked you right in the ass, and walked around the front, huh? How am I giving voice to my inner garden, my inner goddess garden to prepare for my gifts? What are you doing in your life to give your inner voice enunciation, pronunciation, a visual and verbal stance in the real world? How are you moving with the speed of the goddess? How are you bringing the goddess to life every day? For some of you, it's raising children. For some of you, it's your careers. For some of you, it's your friend circles. For some of it's your personal magic. I've been reading in other challenges over the last 3 days, and I'm going to say something. And I don't usually say this, but I am hella fucking impressed with the efforts women are making to improve themselves. I am really lucky I get to go into the Dark Goddess Collective and I see those women growing. And then I'm taking this Hierophant challenge right now. And I have been a member of Dolsky's community. All these places I've been, okay? And I'm sitting in this place and I see women taking definite changes and U-turns and abrupt turns out of what they've always believed and how they've done things to change. And it shows growth. And I look here at what we're doing, and I don't think there's that much effort being put in. And I'm taking that personally because I know what my life's been for the last year. And as I hate to use this word, as the fucking teacher here, it is my responsibility to set an example. It is. It is my responsibility to set an example. So starting from here on out in the fucking feral group, I will put a question every day in there for you to write on if you can't come on with something. But I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to be very blunt about this. We know I'm not a sugarcoater. I'm not fucking Willy Wonka. Never have been, never will be. If you don't do your fucking magic, you're going to be real lost in the next year. Because the universe is not fucking waiting around for anybody. The change is happening whether you're fucking ready or not. You better come to grips if this is your path or it's not your path. And if it's not your path, get the fuck off. Because it's going to hurt. Because you're going to be asked to stand in places that you didn't think you'd ever have to stand. And you're going to be asked to hold yourself in a manner to support you being a witch. People are going to start asking questions. Why? 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 What do you believe? Why do you believe that? Why are you a witch? Why are you this? And you don't owe anyone for those answers. But you may make a fucking huge difference in someone's life if you have them and they're authentic. Because there are a lot of lost fucking people right now. Very lost. They don't know what to believe. They're stressing. When things of this monumental things happen, people question their faith. They question so much. And if you can stand authentically in what you are and why you believe it, all doubt is cast aside. You don't owe anyone else an explanation, but you certainly owe it yourself to be fucking authentic and know what you're doing. I'm sick of bullshit questions. I'm sick of bullshit excuses. I'm sick of women who are holding this level in our communities that can't fucking help other people, that won't do a workshop and speak for free, won't do PDFs and help people for free, won't go in and hold the space for Samhain. This is the big show. This is our fucking Super Bowl. And your educators are pulling back like, oh, this is me time. Oh, this is my time. What the fuck? This is nobody's time. This is our time. Baby girl, this is your time to shine. This is the time of the year we fucking shine. Not because we're all fucking jack-o'-lanterns and we wear pointy hats. I ain't never seen any of your asses in a pointy hat. And if I do, I probably knock it off your fucking head. You're not a dunce and you don't need to sit in a corner. You're not a costume. You're not green skin. You're not a fucking gimmick. You're an aligned, dangerous fucking spiritual weapon. Start fucking acting like it. Do your fucking work. The veil needs you. The community needs you. If you don't want to work, then don't waste the time. You will grow. You will become amazing women. I have watched women in this circle grow. And the smile on my face when I see them in other places is so hard to control. I have conversations all the time, and I'm like, "She is so fire. Her fucking writing is amazing. Her creativity is amazing. She's a fire, amazing human being. I love her." Said that about Lynn Casey in private conversations. I talk about your asses all the time. Can't believe the initiative she's taken. She's working so hard. We were talking about fucking Garrity the other day. I'm like, bitch is over there doing her work, busting her fucking ass. I'm so impressed. Holding on for dear fucking life. Learning everything she can. Lisa's over taking a master gardening class. You think I'm ignoring all of you? I'm not fucking ignoring you. I'm fucking sitting back, looking at you glow up. That's my fucking job. But it's also my fucking job when you're sitting there going, and doing this. Stop having a fucking pity party. Those are no fun. Believe me, I've had enough pity parties in the last year. I know what they fucking look like. They involve a lot of chocolate cake and fucking coffee and watching fucking Disney Channel. Believe me, I know. But pity ain't getting you nowhere this time of the year. We are sad, and it's okay. Some of you are probably crying nonstop and you don't know why. It's really fucking sad right now. The community is really sad because the women we relied upon that we didn't even fucking know we relied upon. We didn't even know how much magic they were fucking holding are gone. They're fucking gone. And other women who are watching it are leaving. And they're choosing solidarity to be alone, solitary, to get away from the community because the community's toxic. We've got to stop it. We've got to pull the neutral back and we've got to connect to source and we've got to get with our ancestors again and we've got to breathe life into this craft. You gotta. I'm sorry. Gonna, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Period. My grandma always said this saying and it never made sense to me. Shit said he shit himself, but he only thought he could. I don't fucking know what that means, but it kind of makes sense right now. Okay? It just kind of fucking makes sense. Where are we going? Someone said to me the other day, where are we going? We're following our noses. We're following our intuition. We're following where we think we need to be. Do you understand? This circle is not about gossip. This circle is not about condemning one another. This circle is not about looking down on one another. If you are not willing to get on your hands and knees for a sister to step on your back, to get her back up where she needs to be, this is not where you need to be. Yeah, I said it. I'm done. This community will build if I had to break everybody's bones to do it. I will break that wishbone in your back and I will put a fucking backbone there. Stop wishing. That's for birthday candles. Start manifesting. That's for witches. We don't do birthday candles here. We do birthday cake. Don't fucking get me wrong. I do like a good birthday cake, but we don't do birthday candles. Do you understand? You guys have got to start putting yourselves in the game. Everybody off the bench, get out of your practice pants. I need you in game wear. Do you understand? So we're going to start with prompts. I may load 5 of them in there when I have a minute, get them all loaded for you guys to write on. But we're going to cover fennel before we go out, okay? So fennel is an easily attained herb. It is going to clear blockages. It's great for digestion. You know, like I told you, the spiritual diarrhea you're going through. Some nice warm fennel tea. Those of you that are the cookers in the group, fennel's a great additive to soups and stews and breads and oils. Get that fennel out of your cupboard, warm it in your saucepan for a few minutes, let it go in there, fill the air up. You're going to notice when it fills up, it's like this warm, smoky, herby sense that fills your whole body. Boom. You're going to get it in some warm oil. Use that oil on your hands, rub your candles. I want you to get that fennel going through your altar. It's a very good spiritual conductor as well. Now, fennel bulbs can be gotten at your grocery store. Great grounding vegetable to move into this season. Okay? One of my favorite parts about this, it is an upper world plant. So we're not going down into the liminal like all the other herbs I've given you are down liminal plants. This is an upper herb plant. This is really going to connect you to the actual muggle self of yourself. This is a real caring for yourself herb. Okay? Now everybody's going to go, where do you get it? In the spice aisle. What does it look like? A big white bulb that looks like this. It's a big fat, it kind of looks like me with my hands up in there. So it has a big fat bottom and its arms go up like this. It has a little part that sticks up on the top. She kind of has like horns. And when you slice it, don't laugh. It does look like me. It's like a unknown goddess, a screaming goddess. So when you put it in to salads and soups and everything, it's going to give you this strong earthy taste. Okay. The top of the bulb, sometimes people say tastes like licorice a little bit. So good. So amazing. So this would be all you vegans and vegetarians, you're going to love me for this one. Olive oil, red wine vinaigrette, salt, pepper, basil. Toss it with that fennel with some beets. Best salad you'll ever have. So look at there. You got a kitchen witch recipe too, huh? So that is the PDF that'll be up later. 12 pages of goodness. Can we give an applause to our girl Ashley? Look at this fucking PDF. Our girl Ashley is kicking ass on PDFs lately. Since you all came tonight, uh, fat bottom will be your code word. And you guys will be able to get your PDF for $3 tonight. You know, fat bottom girls, we make the rockin' world go round, right? I was having a conversation with someone this week and I'm like, she's like, are you free? I said, no, I'm $5.99 a minute. She goes, bitch, that's too cheap. So I'll put that on there that guys will get you they'll get you the discount off once I get it loaded up on the site. It's been a long day. So I wanted to make sure I came in and hit this hard. I'm going to stop the recording for everybody that came and all of you that have questions. I'll do questions. How's that sound? So thank you for coming. You're magic because you fucking say you are. And we'll see you all next